about how teens' brains are different from adults, because
Yes,
sometimes as parents,
we don't
not
think that.
because we don't think that, and not because we just have this idea, we forget that our kids are still learning things and we
Yes.
expect them to be like, you should. So let's start there. Differences between teens and adults when it comes to time management and just executive functioning. What does
Okay.
that look like?
So we're first going to also say to everyone that nothing we're saying is disparaging you as a parent, professional,
Yes,
or educator. We come with love. We don't, I mean, I just didn't talk before this and I'm like, there's no judgment here. The fact that you're here
absolutely.
listening, the fact that you showed up here today to listen to this, or you're going to listen to it, later on your own time means that you are coming from a place of wanting and learning. So there is no judgment and no nothing. And there's always the question I get asked all the time. I just want to say this is, can I change my behavior? Can I change things? Is it too late? I always get that question. It's never too late. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to communicate differently with your teen or student or whatever you want. So I don't know what the ages and stages are, but understand that it is absolutely never too late. Okay, moving on. So here's what everybody needs to know. Listen up, pens up, as I say when I give my webinars.
I like
Here
that.
we go, right? So we're all very focused on chronological age. So there's a lot of shoulding going on. Like, I don't get it, Les. Like, my kid is 16. They should be able to walk out the door in the morning. Or my kid is 13. They should be able to get homework done. And the operative word there is the should. And so what I need you all to just please remember is what we're discussing is what we call brain-based behaviors. And we need to meet our kids where they are and not where we expect them to be. So we focus on the 16 and 13, and that's what we call obviously a chronological age. But what we're missing in that equation, and if any of you out there know me, we give webinars in our community, and I start every single webinar, no matter what we talk about, talking about executive age. And what I find puzzling is that most parents say, no one has ever taught me that. My kid got an ADHD or an executive functioning diagnosis, and no one described executive age to me. So what is executive age? Executive age is that if your child presents with any type of executive dysfunction, I hate that word, but I'm trying to be concise.
Mhm.
So any challenge that falls under executive functioning, organizing, time, focus, effort level, not laziness, working memory, remembering to remember, okay? Impulsivity, or what I like to call self-leadership, planning, prioritizing, mood regulation, all of that are executive functions. So if your child struggles with any of those, their executive age, hold on, is going to be 30% less that chronological age. So if, yeah, oh yeah, I know, I'm the Debbie Downer. Here, I'm a peach to be with. I just give you good news. So here's the crazy. Here's what it looks like. You might have a 13-year-old at home, and they might be 13 in all their 13ness. Okay, you know what I mean? Maybe they're 13 academically, socially, verbally, right? Even academically, this has nothing to do with academics. But if they're time blind, if they have weak working memory, if they are disorganized or can't sustain effort, they will be 9. And what you expect from a 9-year-old, how you're going to scaffold a 9-year-old, all of that is very different than a 13. And it's that gray area where I see parents be upset, anxious, angry, and confused. Now, the other fun fact you all need to know is that your executive functions, do not fully develop until you're in your mid 30s. Some say earlier, some say later. Let them fight it out. Okay. I'm not a researcher, so let them fight it out. So imagine as an adult, your executive functions are fully formed. Even if your child does not have any kind of neurodiversity or any kind of executive functioning challenges, their executive functions are still not fully formed. Now add on an executive functioning diagnosis. There's the great divide between adults and children. So we not only have a divide organically just by the sheer age, but then we have another divide by the fact that we might have been diagnosed with executive functioning challenges. And we now are looking at executive age and not chronological age.